What's up, folks? As you see, the team is here, and it's time to get into Insecure Season 5, the last season of Insecure. This is our episode 1 recap discussion, full breakdown, spoiler review, whatever you want to call it. This episode is titled Reunited.
I'm about to
okay?
say.
My bad, with all the question mark. But we're here each and every week once the episode premieres, and you can expect to see our review, our full-blown review, following that. That way you can join in and part of the discussion and so on. So yeah, me and Lucas, we gave our little overview of episode 1, non-spoiler. But as we said, we'll have our team here, and here they are, ladies. Sherelle and Amaya, how you doing? Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having us again.
Welcome back, shall I say?
Yeah. Hey y'all, hey.
So yeah, this episode was about the 10-year college reunion. Issa self-doubt quickly surfaces, and Molly struggles to get out of her own head. Forget all that. Let's go to the big thing of this episode at the end. So the end of last season, we saw that Condola dropped the bomb of being pregnant. Lawrence basically was like, cool, but that doesn't mean we're going to be together. And I guess we got a sense of Lawrence and Issa saying, cool, we can work things out. Which, as we see at the end of this episode, Issa had other plans where she's basically like, okay, cool, we're done. In other words. So, ladies, I'm going to start off with you two. At what point did Issa make this decision during this trip to say, to come back home to say, Lawrence, nah, this ain't it? When did she get that mindset?
I think that, honestly, it's probably been on her mind from the moment that Condola said, I'm pregnant. Like, as a woman, as soon as your heart drops right into your stomach. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. Sherelle, I'm talking to, obviously, but your heart drops into your foot and you're thinking like, this man that I'm with is about to have a baby by somebody else. And so I think for sure that she was always thinking about it. She loves Lawrence. There's no doubt about it. And probably I'm going to say that I'm 90% sure she's in love with him, but she's finding herself, and in finding yourself, sometimes you realize you have to detach from other people, and sometimes it's people that you're in a relationship with. And so I feel as though her experience at Stanford, keeping it 100, right? Because on the panel, she keeps it real. She's not fluffing it like everybody else. And she's realizing like, wow, my life is here. Like, where do I really want my life to be? So I think that it's been in her mind, but the trip to Stanford, the talking to her old self, the really coming to the realization that like, I'm not where I want to be, and I got so much more to give, so much more to live, and this is not going to be something that I can deal with, no matter how much I thought I could have made it work. So,
yeah, and I'm going to add the quote of moving forward, right? So I think that that was the big thing for her, was when she was speaking with Molly, it was, I just want to move forward. And I feel like you can't move forward into whatever your future holds if you're holding on to something that is maybe not so good for you, or that's going to keep pulling you back into your past. You can't move forward that way. And I think for her, like Amaya was saying, it's just that you have a baby on the way by a whole different woman, and that doesn't help me see my future moving forward, because I have to hold on to our past, the fact that you have a baby with someone else, and that this person is going to be in your life forever. And I don't know that I can do that. But for me, I'm tired of breaking up with Issa and Lawrence. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm so tired. It's like so emotionally draining, and it's like you want them to be together, and then it's just like it's not happening. I'm drained. But yes, moving forward just means that your past can't come with you.
Yeah. It's an interesting follow-up question, but before that, I want to know, Lawrence pointed to the moon, say, oh, the moon is bright, big full moon. Is there something here for you astrology folks? Is there something to be made of that?
All of that retrograde was, I don't know whose moon it was. It might have been a Libra moon, because I can't, listen, I'm not even going to get on that topic. It might have been a Libra moon, okay? I think it was interesting that they pointed that out, because a lot of people do feel like there's this pull, of course, of different things happening, different energy, the world shifting. And a lot of times that people shifting too. So you are coming into a new, when a full moon is out, you are literally supposed to be technically like shedding into something, new. So
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it was a Libra ass moon, but go ahead.
So to the follow-up question is for this season, this is for everybody. Do we want Lawrence and Issa to be together? This has been the reoccurring theme time after time after time. This is the catalyst of this show. Where other parts came into it. I'm not sure changing any other dynamics in it, but at the core minimum, people got into the show because it was Lawrence and Issa having a very relatable relationship, black love in the sense of that.
Huh?
What?
Who the hell saw this relationship as black love?
Oh my God.
This was the most tragic
thing humanly
possible.
It's relatable though.
Yeah, it's relatable. Yeah. Again,
he said black love. It's a completely different thing. I mean,
no, it's not actually.
She hated him at the beginning of this. She resented him. In the first season, he slept with someone else. That literally, have they been together for an entire season yet? Sherelle is right. I am tired of them breaking up. They haven't been together an entire season yet.
Yeah.
Who slept with who first? Let's not do that to Lawrence. And I have not been Team Lawrence, but let's just be clear that he was a little broke, right? He was broke. Let's be clear. He was broke. Issa held him down. She was upset about the birthday shit. She did whatever she did with Daniel. Then they broke up. And so it's been a lot. Here's the thing. Is it what we want to see as quote unquote black love? No. But is it real black love? Absolutely. You can look at the docuseries of black love and you see that real couples have gone through things like this and they've made it. Now, I'm not saying it's healthy, but they are still young. If we're thinking about the time frame, you're getting out of college, you're still finding yourself and this and the third, right? Now they are here years later. You grow, you mature, you have to gain knowledge. So while I am tired of seeing them go back and forth, probably, I think it says a lot about what you can overcome. And I feel like that's almost cliche though, because we don't want to feel like we have to overcome anything to be in love. But the reality of it is that relationships are going to come with hills. They're going to come with highs and lows. It just all depends on you and what you're willing to go through for love in order to have a successful relationship. Yeah.
Mic drop. Jeez.
they literally have cheated on each other, done everything else besides each other. No, who the hell would want them two to end up together? They've literally shown you why maybe a friendship is better than a relationship between these two.
So we have two no's. Amai, do you want to see them together? Let's just put this. It's early predictions for the season. Do you want to see them together ultimately?
I'm gonna say complete? I think that they will be together. So I'm gonna say yes.
And for me, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna try to take away the prediction of how I think the series is going to end. But I think I'll be totally satisfied if they were together. I think I can coast with that and be all right. But we'll see. It's the first episode. We'll see how things play out.
I think that they'll be together, but then I feel like that's too easy.
Say it again, Sherelle. For this show.
For this show is too easy.
That is way too simple of an outcome. She literally quoted the great philosopher Mary Jane Blige at the end of this episode. She said it was your child, and it really messed me up.
Oh my
How
God.
could you deny your own flesh and blood? Like she
ain't denied nothing. You know what? Lucas.
Y'all are ridiculous
Lucas right now. I cannot.
Yeah, I know. Y'all ridiculous.
And it's funny because we know she's gonna have this baby.
That's the other question. Where's she gonna have it? She said she wanted kids, but will she have it? And you know what's honestly surprising to me is I really think that was I feel like we all, and as you say, like it's too easy. I feel like that's also the other thing that's too easy for us to say, like, oh, she wants to have it because she wants to have a family because that's what she hinted towards doing. Yeah. I think that they don't want to go down the postpartum thing again because we're already seen that. I feel like it is it. I think it would be the unconventional way for her to not have the baby, to sort of give that easy ending of the two of them being together.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
I
that's
don't
gonna
know.
happen.
Yeah, I think she's gonna end up having a baby for sure.
I think she's
Definitely
gonna have the
have a
baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We got
And actually show a different angle to having a child on this show. Because you
Okay.
said they showed the postpartum, you can show the other side of it, of someone who's
Right.
very content
good point.
on this is my child, this is my life. I wanted this kid. You don't have to be
Absolutely.
around if you don't
Good
want
point.
to be.
Good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Really quick question: when do you think we see Condola? At what episode?
I'm gonna say episode 3.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say episode 3.
Because strangely enough, I was about to say it before a second ago, but strangely enough, I feel like I don't need her presence right
I
now.
don't
And I don't know why that's such a settling thing for her to be a pivotal part of this story. I don't feel like I need her.
I think because, in all honesty, the way this episode played out, how much did you need Lauren's presence? No, what I mean is that her presence comes along with him.
Yeah.
And because her presence comes along with him, go ahead, Sherelle.
That also makes you think of like, if we don't need these two main characters, well, Condola's not a main character, but if we don't need them, where is the trajectory of the season going to go?
Yeah.
Because what do we need from them? You know,
What is the important part of the series? Because I think
if they're broken up, why do we need Lawrence?
What we've shown, or what this show has shown, and we talked about it in the last season, the most important relationship has never been Issa and Lawrence.
No.
It's always been Issa and Molly.
Always.
Yeah.
So if she ends it with Lawrence, not saying he wouldn't come back in the picture eventually, but I think most fans, most people of this show would be highly satisfied if it dealt with them two dealing with everything on the line.
Yeah, I think
that can only carry them for but so much though. You cannot give me Molly and Issa the whole entire season. I will be.
But even all four of them.
Yeah.
Like the girls' relationship. The girls, because we still see that Kelly and
Tiff.
There you go. And Tiff.
Well, I want to go to that because that is the focus of this episode. As much as it is about Molly and Issa and self-discovery and whatnot, it is about the stance of where the four of them at right now. Where has things picked up? It's been about 2 months, I think, is the time here, because we left off with Andrew and Molly from last season. And you know what happened with them, and then as we've seen in the car ride for them going up to Stanford, they basically said it's been 2 months since that incident. So I'm thinking that's the small time jump here. But the question is, and let's start off with Issa and Molly. How long is this awkwardness going to happen? Yes, it seems like there's some type of resolution, but is it?
Friendships are a lot harder to repair, in my opinion, than relationships. And when it comes to women and trust being broken and things being said that you cannot take back, it's damaging. And so as much as they show here like they want to move forward, Molly is very much extending herself, putting herself out there. It's just going to take them some time. You have to just be diligent and genuine in wanting to repair the connection. And so I think it's very possible for them. I see that I feel like by the end of the season, they will have. I don't want them to go back to where they were, right? Because I feel like a lot of times we say that, oh, I'm going to go back to how things were. Like, no. I want to go to a better place than things were. And so I think they are going to end in a better space than they started with in their friendship. But I do think it's going to be awkward for a little while. And I feel like at least the first, I don't know how many episodes we have in this season, but I'm going to say at least half of those are probably going to be semi-awkward.
Okay. Sherelle?
I think the same thing. I definitely think that their friendship is going to be better than ever. It's going to be stronger than ever. I think we're going to see a lot of new relationships, I think. And we might just see some singleness. And I think that we don't get that often in shows where we see women being single and being content in their single season. Especially not on this show. Everyone has had relationship after relationship after relationship. Even if it was just a humping situation, it was still a man in the picture. So it would be really nice to kind of just see the single season, and that, your single season can lead to ultimately the best relationships or the best relationship of your life when you are in your single season. So hopefully we do see a single season between Issa and Molly. Obviously already Molly is interested in the guy from college. She's curious about him. And I'm already just like, no, it's a red flag because he's newly divorced. So I'm just like, relax, chill, enjoy this season that you're in, learn about yourself and continue to grow and go on your path so that you can move forward, because ultimately that was the big thing. I want to move forward. So
yeah,
we need some single season of like just some real good girl time, like brunches, and go back to their self-care Sundays. And, just, I think that their friendship is going to be perfect. Not perfect, but I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be stronger than ever by the end of the season. But I want some single season.
Okay. I think it's telling that Molly decided to not go to the AKA party and she wanted to hang with Issa. And that's when she said she wanted things to just be cool. And then, they both agreed that they just want to move forward. So I like that. I like that approach for this season.
I mean, they are in the last season of it. And technically, you can only go one place from being insecure.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's being secure.
I cannot.
It's a good take.
That's being secure in your relationships. And what does that mean for these characters to be secure in their relationship?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Luke, you made me think about something. In the beginning of the show, it's without a doubt, people watch the show because of Issa and Lawrence. But as you said, the most important relationship when you really get into it has always been Molly and Issa. I also think that when it comes down to the slate of men that Issa has been with, I don't even know if Lawrence is even the most interesting of them. And I think I think so. I think Daniel too.
And Daniel's always been the one that the audience gravitated towards. But who Sherelle's pick is. 100%. It ain't Daniel.
100%.
And he's coming back this season, so that's even more interesting.
I can't wait.
But see, that's the thing, though. I feel like these men were kind of used as I guess to just bring a different element to Issa and just show different sides of her, and then obviously heighten the drama. But it had always been. I feel like when you look at the core of Insecure, I thought it always was about Issa and Molly either as a friendship, outside and separate entities, but ultimately the root of them coming back together. To, as Lou said, becoming secure in everything they do. I think that's what this season is going to go for us. I really, really like that take. And I also think that we'll come back to it in a second, but the panel, I think that's where we saw a very strong connection start to be made, even though it didn't seem like it because it was a very awkward silence inside of it. But it was telling, it was important, and that's what actually got them to hang out afterwards. But I want to talk about another relationship really quick. Derek and Tiff. Are they on good terms, or are they just struggling? Are they just going with the motions, as we've seen from the previous season? Tiff struggling with her postpartum. They seem to be good on surface, but is that the truth here? What's really their what's going on with them? We'll just leave it at that.
I think that they're fine. I I hate that word fine, because like when people ask you like, how are you doing? Like, I'm fine. You're really not fine. But I think that I was looking at Tiffany's her posture, her responses, her facial expressions, and to me, I feel like they're in a good place, right? She acknowledged that he found a tree and decided to carve their name in it. You know what I mean?
Let him have his moment.
But I think in that you could see there was still a light in her eyes. You could still see that there was joy, right? And when you're not in a good space and you're a couple, she could have been like, that conversation or comment she made could have went a whole different way. And I think based on how she made her comment, they are actually in a good place right now.
Okay.
I agree. I think that one thing that we've seen in Tiffany and Derek's marriage is that it works for them. And they, had their moment with her postpartum, and she is a very special person and she has a big personality, but I think that they work. And I do appreciate her just saying, you know what, just let them have it. Like, with this tree thing. Like she just like don't say nothing. You know, I think that they're very supportive of each other, and I think that out of all of the relationships, as crazy as it may seem, there's work. For whatever reason, it works, and I think, like Amaya said, I think they're fine. They're fine. I think they're in a good because for whatever reason, their marriage works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
I think that's the good point, is that your marriage is your marriage. And if we kept our relationships, it probably would go better versus us. I mean, because Tiffany shares, but if you notice, Tiffany is particular on how she shares. You know certain things, you don't know everything.
Yeah.
I like that.
I honestly see her getting pregnant again.
No, I ain't with that though.
I'm not with it, but I can see it happening. I can see them.
Yeah.
I
think Tiff is on birth control.
I am curious what happened in the 2 months. What was their repair? What were their therapy sessions like? I'm curious about that. I
would hope that they did do therapy.
I would be very interested in seeing how that went about.
I wouldn't mind not finding out anything else about Denise and her husband moving forward.
Who
was Denise?
Tiffany?
Tiffany. What
are you talking about?
He done talked about somebody else. I don't know who.
You know why I said Denise? Mad. I got it. I got why I said Denise, because I care about their relationship as much as I did when Denise married that military guy on the Cosby Show.
Oh my God!
If they hear, they hear. If they're not, they're not.
I'm out there. Hey, so let's go on campus for a second here. Now, before we go any further,
we better get to the best part of this episode.
Yeah,
that's what I've been waiting for.
This is where I got to speak for me and Lucas real quick. So when we did our non-spoiler review, we talked about Stanford and we talked about the vast amount of blackness that seemed to have been on campus. So I decided to go do some research here. Stanford's enrollment of Black and African Americans is 0.423%. and also, I decided to go a little bit deep. Because people want us to have facts, so I decided to go do some research. Here's another thing I found out. Did you remember when Molly was talking about the frat parties and how the Qs would do this, and that?
Wow.
Active Divine Nine fraternities on there. There is Sigmas. There's something I've never heard of. There is Alphas.
Something I've never heard of. Jeez.
I'm not even playing. Unless there's a new one that came about since I've been out of school. I was like, wait, what? I've never heard of that.
It's a new one for Stanford.
Gotta be. But Qs are not active on that campus. So I think
that's not even surprising though.
No. But see, I think it's a safe measure there, because like once you start like putting fraternities on display and saying what they were doing and this and that, you might as well just make it fictional. That way you don't take unnecessary heat.
I thought they would have done a more fictional university.
How did they just wing that one like that?
Hey, when we did our review and they said Stanford, I looked up online. I said, wait a minute. Clearly, there must not be any historical Black colleges in California. It's not. Nor is there any really on the West Coast.
Yeah, so there's not. The closest you're getting is Ohio. Everything else, Texas. Yes.
Yeah,
okay,
Texas.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, somebody said there's a historical graduate school, which
it is.
Okay, so can I gotta ask a legitimate question. How does it become historical if it hasn't been around as long as it's been? Or they just lumping it in?
No. It is. It's a. I want to say it's a medical institute that is considered
That's what she brought
historical
up.
HBCU in California, and they're not new. They've been around for a pretty long period of time, but it's a specialty school.
Okay,
so it's not like a regular.
Okay.
Like I think all of us may have went to HBCUs. Not sure.
Yes.
I think all of us did. So
Sherelle went to. Okay, she like, no,
she went to Stanford. That's why she was saying that. Sherelle went to Stanford. It's okay.
I didn't go the traditional college route.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, not at all.
You notice I said we all went to HBCUs.
Right, we ain't say
Clearly.
graduated.
I say we all graduated from HBCUs.
We ain't say we all graduated.
Basically, right. Yeah, no.
I definitely don't like that.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of the
That
whole
was a
Stanford
big
scene.
ass lie.
Yeah, I was not a fan of the Stanford scene. The flute. What was she playing? Back to
don't get to our favorite. That's my favorite part of this episode right here.
You know what? It was just confusing, but in all honesty, for that area, what would have been, even though they don't have an HBCU, what would have been the college that most intelligent Black students would go to? I know Stanford is like one of those pinnacle schools that you want to get into.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy the fact that they showed.
You can go to USC, like that just would
have
been blasphemy.
That's the one.
That's what I was gonna say.
I would have thought USC or UCLA.
Oh, UCLA, but also I think those are still. UCLA. I don't know. I get that the choices were limited, and again,
I mean, they even have black. They got black like sports, so it's clearly more Black people there. Stanford really doesn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
it's an interesting thing. I don't think it's going to be a pivotal thing going forward, but like I definitely did my research and like and the thing about it, even the medical school that you're talking about, I went to where a website that has hbcu.com or edu or whatever it is that lists all of the HBCUs in America, and it's not listed.
That one's not. Yep.
Yeah, that one's not on it. Yeah.
I'm not. It's nothing to take away from that school. I'm just saying that like. From somebody, we're on the East Coast, and for I've been to HBCU, and I've always recognized HBCUs being in this region of America. Some in Ohio, some in Texas, and then like the history behind why these HBCUs are there in these demographics. It makes sense, you know. So like the whole thing with not knowing that there's, I mean, is this still considered HBCU even though it's a grad school institution?
As long as it's marked that way, then yeah.
Okay. So either way, that's that new knowledge. So got that. But like the whole Stanford thing, I definitely was like, I need to go do some research on this. And not a lot of Black people going there. But I will say this for my friends that went to University of Maryland, which is definitely way more Black people that go there.
Way more.
But all the Black people were together. So I get the sense of saying like everybody knew everybody because the Blacks were all together. So that's why it seemed very communal.
Racism.
I got a funny story, but that's for another day.
When we were in high school, the Filipinos hung out with the Filipinos. They didn't hang out with any other culture.
These are facts. Also, shout out to all the goths that were all together for some odd reason. The goths had their own hallway, and I was like, "Wow, how that happened?" So,
the goths have their own section in schools. It don't matter if you're Black, white, part of the community. If you're Goth, you got your own section in every school in America.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, talking about Too Short, Blow Your Whistle on the Flute. I mean, I done seen it all now. I guess I got to get my way out to Oakland and see what the scene is like out there. That seemed to be a thing. But let's talk about the funniest thing of this episode, and that is my girl, rest in peace, Kelly. Man, known for her snaky leg. Yo, when they did the snaky leg. Derek, I don't know if y'all seen it. Derek was in the background, so unbothered. He was just like, nah, I'm not even. It's got to be the funniest thing. Derek is so unbothered by when they're doing it.
But we got to give a quick shout out to Kelly, being able to put her leg, showing her flexibility.
Okay.
Hello. Yes. Come through.
I was waiting to see if there was like some CGI in there where it was like a fake leg or something. It was her leg.
It was her. Look. I had my Jill Scott moment when that leg went up.
Not Jill Scott moment. I'm done with you,
Kelly.
Yeah, like for real. But I think what's important here, there's a couple of things to get into this, and this will be our last little topic of everything. So yeah, Kelly was dead. It's a running, joke or whatnot. And they even did a little eulogy for her when they went and got lunch, which, it put into perspective how important Kelly is to the group. Yeah. But there's something seriously off about Kelly that I hope everybody picked up on. The first thing is when Cheyenne took them to the liquor store for them to be robbed, which is funny in its own. Wow. Did you notice that Kelly looked back at her and said, "You are always on joke time"? And I'm like, Kelly is telling somebody that they're always on joke time. And I don't know if y'all have ever been in y'all feelings before, but you know damn well when somebody gets under your skin and you sit back and get on your phone, something is bothering you. And she completely was zoned out, ultimately getting back to her place where she had to record her podcast about it. Folks, the question here is, what is going on with Kelly?
It was the death scene. It was the eulogy part.
Yep.
Like it's hard. Just imagine you being around for your own eulogy, and it seems like no one actually knows who you are.
Yeah.
That is a gut punch, and that's what hit her more than anything else. When that thing came on that screen, and who the fuck wants to be known for a stinky leg? Right, like, no, I need to really. What was it about me that you cared about? And I think that's the sweet part when we get to the end of the episode, where her friends are letting her know how much you mean to me.
Yeah.
Agree.
She's tired of being the choke, right? Like at the end of the day, she's no longer wants to be class clown per se. You know what they do with the superlatives, right? Most likely to make you laugh. Like she's tired of that. She wants to be taken seriously, and I think you're gonna see a more serious side of her now coming forward.
Are we ready for that?
Yes.
Okay. Sherelle, what was you gonna say?
I was gonna say just that I think it was her death and her. First of all, how did they even think that she was dead?
Yes.
That's a whole
nother story in itself.
That would have pissed me off because that right there would have triggered, why she's feeling the way that she's feeling. Because it's like y'all don't know me, like y'all don't see me, and I think she wants to be known other than her personality and her being playful and the jokes are all the time. She wants to be seen differently, and I think her death is what makes her realize like I'm deeper than that, and I want you to see that I'm deeper than that.
Yeah.
Look at this serious conversation here.
I wouldn't be surprised if they tapped on depression in Kelly's character throughout this season.
Her element.
It's always the one who's laughing all the time and joking. That's actually
talk to him.
I think that's a highly important thing. Again, insecure. We always relate it just to Issa's character. All of these women, because the women are the main element of this show, have a piece of themselves that they are very insecure about, and Kelly has been masking her insecurity
through laughter.
Now that's gone, and now she's like, no, I absolutely love when they showed her talking about it in that format, because I think that's the great thing about podcasts for certain people. It's not about how many people listen to you, it's about you getting it off of your chest, and then you possibly touching someone else who's going through the exact same thing.
She was giving me big. Do y'all watch what's the show on Apple TV?
Nope. Say Apple TV.
Nope. Right.
What's her name? I don't know why I can't think of her name.
The moment you say Apple TV, everybody's like,
I can't think of the name of the show. God, what's the name of the show? All right,
we don't.
I'll come back to it.
Hold up,
so
truth
don't
be told,
even matter.
Truth be told, thank you, and Poppy, who also is very on par with how she uses her podcast as a sense of mental health mechanism.
I'm not going to tell you the only reason I knew Truth Be Told because that's a show with someone black. And I figured that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, truth be told, the character Poppy, played by Octavia Spencer, is giving me the same vibes as how she uses her podcast in the sense of balancing her mental. Because Poppy seems really determined to solve mysteries, but at the core root, she's lonely, she's hurt about things, and we see it truly explored. It's obvious. It's very telling that with Kelly here, she had a huge purpose. The end of last season. She was at the forefront to find out where her friend was at. She made sure that they were going to go find her because it was really important. That's gone. The whole fixing the dynamic, the relationship with her and Tiff, that's no longer an issue. So now it's like, okay, cool. I got my Instagram popping. I'm doing thirst traps. I can't delete DMs because I always need to go back to look at them for reasons, and they're just like, girl, you need to move on from that. That's not good.
It's insecurity.
She has to find herself.
Yeah.
I think the mental health train is coming, and I would love to see this explored. And I think it's important because everybody on this show, mostly everybody on the show, are comedians, and they all have talked about how comedy helps them cope with their mental health. So let's see a character like that as well too. Someone who is the comedic factor, who has always been confident, funny. I mean, she did the fucking she pulled her leg out, whatever you call it, not split, whatever. That's damn confident.
Hey, that's all I need to see. Just a little bit more of that, cat. That's all I.
Oh my
God!
Uncle Lou out.
Uncle Lou is out. Just a little bit more. That's all I.
Wrap it up, because Lucas is getting rated R.
There we go. Time to wrap it up. Time to wrap it up. But I've always liked that character, and now I'm just super curious because, like, if you watch this show on mute and you just watch her facial expressions the entire time, it is a fall off of a roller coaster. She is happy on the ride there, and how confident she is about her DMs, and then once she got in that campus, things were just down telling. It's a story within her facial expressions alone. So,
and on the topic of Kelly, she's actually the one person that I would have actually liked to see explore a relationship.
Because she's the only one who hasn't.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, and all the ones that she has had, it's been very like jokey. It's been like, even with the whole British situation.
Yeah.
Right.
I need that accent back.
Yeah. She doesn't let. It's like she doesn't let anyone in on that level.
Yeah.
It would have just kind of been nice to see her, explore a healthy.
You never know. Maybe that's some angle that they plan on going in this last season.
Yeah, that would be nice.
A lot of good things we're hoping for this season.
And if they haven't cast that role yet, I am always available.
All right, and now do it today, folks. No, but seriously, folks, as I said in the beginning of this episode, we're here each and every week with our full-blown spoiler discussion of Insecure as we wrap up this final season. Folks, as always, and as wanted, jump in the comments, let us know your thoughts about this episode. And we want to know your predictions about the season to come. Some of the big questions, Issa and Lawrence, do we want them together? Where do we see Kelly going? And Tiff and Derek, it seemed to be safe. Will they actually have any reapses here between the two of them? They went through a very, very emotional journey at the end of last season. So, and Condola, what will be her presence because I feel like it's not needed, but that's a conversation for another day. And what song will we hear next on the flute is the next question. But
I'll go back that ass up.
Oh, I was about to say WAP.
Okay.
But yes, folks, thank you so much for tuning in with us today, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.